Hello and welcome to another Addon Spotlight. This episode is going to be about stuf. Stuf is a unit frame add-on and it's very customizable. There's a million different ways you can customize this and you can change the way you want. It also does not add-ons. It does buffs, debuffs, casts, combat texts, party frames, raid frames, boss frames, target frames, focus frames. Any frame you can think of, this thing does. So here we go. Here's the list of all the frames that you can customize. You can customize every single one of these to any way you want. There's a configuration mode which will show you everything that you possibly want to know about a certain frame. A toggle mode and a toggle highlight mode. We're going to just focus on one frame for right now. If you guys want another tutorial on how to set up different raid frames, party frames, arena frames, boss frames, I can leave a comment down below and I can go in deeper into this. So for this, as you see, it's just a standard UI frame. It's took away all the extra art that Blizzard has. If you get into this, here's every single thing that you can change on this one bar. Each bar is, if you notice as you go down, you can change each party bar, you can change each pet bar, each boss bar, each and every bar you can even possibly think of. So when you are doing the health bar, you can move the position without moving anything else. See, you just move it out of the way. It's really awkward to change and move, and if you're very good with the numbers and the grid, if you have an add-on that can show you a grid, you can do that. It makes it much easier. You can change the height, the width, wherever it's at. You don't have to have your health bar on your bar. It's a kind of an odd thing, but I could see where you could do a healer UI where you can see your mana up at the top right above your grid or your heal bot or whatever you use. Or if you're even going to use the stuf raid, this is very customizable too. You can just see over here, you can have your main tanks up there, you can have your party frames all down here, and all your pets are on this one bar. It's a pretty neat add-on. It's very customizable. It's pretty much just like grid, if you know what grid is. So if you want a lightweight add on this add-on, even though you can customize every single thing, it's very, very useful. So we're gonna get back into this. Let me turn this back off. So even the power bar you can move just like the health bar. Each text, there is 8 texts. It's the name. 1 is the name, I think. Yes, the name. Number 2 is the class class and level. The 3rd one is your health and the percentage. 4th is your power bar. The 5th is the percent on the power bar, and so on and so forth. You can just go through this if you want to. Combat text, it does do combat text, which if you use the Blizzard combat text or the mic scrolling battle text, that is just fine. The less you have on this add-on, the even lighter weight it is. So if you don't use any text, you can just turn it off like usual. So going on group numbers, if you want to see your group number that you're in, which you really don't need, because if you do have the grid up over here, you can see where you are. So I just usually turn that one off. Your buff icons, which are actually all the way up here as the default if it's disabled. When it's enabled, it moves it. So as you can see now, they're down below my bar. You can take these and you can literally move them wherever you want. If you want to move them so you can see them better, like up here, every time you get a buff, and you can make them. I use these on my Shadow Priest for my buffs and my debuffs, especially on the boss. The debuffs are essential. I can put them right in the middle of my screen, and when I know that the buff is, my spells are about to come off the boss, I can put it right back on and it shows me right on my screen. Temporary enchants, which are just like your enchants on your weapons or a chance on your trinkets, you can use that. Will pop up. You can always move that around also. All your standard stuff, you can change where your PvP icon is. If you're on a PvP server and you don't have a HUD, you can put that up there by your tune and you can see your HUD. If you're not, you can just turn it off, because you probably don't PvP when you're out in the world if you're not on a PvP server. The status icon, you're sleeping, that is very useful when you're leveling, to know if you're actually in some place where you're going to get the rested buff. Just all the extra leader stuff that you get. This is very useful. The raid targets for party frames, so you can see the target or your target frame. You can see if it's marked, what one it's marked. The class icon, it's not very useful. You can't really see it unless you have your unit frames exploded really high. The voice icon, which nobody uses, the Blizzard interface. The vehicle icon, which you'll never see your thing when you're in a vehicle anyways. I use this very often when I queue for multiple roles. When I get into a dungeon, if I didn't pay attention when I hit accept to, I'll just look, and it makes it a whole lot easier, especially if you have it on your party frames. It's very much. The cast bar, I'm not on a caster right now, so I cannot show you. It's just pretty much the default cast bar. It just shows up right below the unit frame. Your totem bar, it actually shows you what totems you have up if you don't remember which ones you choose, which I think every shaman does. But that is the easiest setup you can do. There's very, very highly combustible, highly configurable. So I'm going to go on to my priest that I talk about, and I'm going to show you the add-on the way I have it set up on my tune. And if you guys want to know how this is, leave a comment below, send me a message, whatever you guys want to do to get my attention, to show me that you want to see how I configured my stuff. Alright, I disabled all my add-ons besides stuff. Usually I have my unit frames or my action bars right here, so it looks a little bit cooler than this. So this is what it's going to look like when you have debuffs on the boss. If you save them this way, see, it just brings them up right here, and you can watch them. You can figure them wherever you want to put them. It doesn't really matter. So it goes all the way across, and they'll start stacking as you go. If you have a lot of debuffs like a warlock, or you can put your buffs, like my buff is up here because I changed where I put it, because when you're in a raid, it'll show everything. So I don't do that. So this is how I set mine up. You can set yours up many different ways if you want. You don't have to do it this way. You can see I can put my portrait underneath my health bar and my mana bar. I can make them taller, shorter, wider, whatever you guys want. I don't have my player name because there's no reason for it, because I know who I am, what level I am, what class I am. So there you go, guys. If you want more information on this, leave a comment below and I'll make another video for it.